Don't worry. How are you doing, everybody? Thank you for joining us once again here at AFRO-NEST. I'm your host, Salim.
I am Fabrice Wise.
And today we want to bring you great information about our trips to Africa this year.
Oh, yeah.
Typically, 3 countries that him and I visited. We just want to share the experience that we had and some ideas that someone might like or might be interested in.
Yeah, we're wrapping up the end of the year. Today actually is the last day of 2021. So we wanted to give you guys something very exciting that we did throughout the year. Maybe we didn't really put it out there like that. So we thought it would be a good opportunity to actually share it. And so you guys get to know exactly how our year went. Right. So I give it to Salim.
So due to the pandemic, of course, many people were unable to travel. Fortunately, we had the opportunity to travel. We went to 3 countries. I went to South Africa and Botswana, and
I went to Democratic Republic of Congo, aka DRC.
Oh yeah. So today we just want to share our experience with those that were unfortunate to not to travel. We just want to share what we saw, what we came across, some of our ideas that you might need in case you're thinking of traveling next year.
And one thing, just so you know, just in case you want to travel, this is actually a best moment to travel because airline ticket, I don't know about your case, but my case was super cheap. I got a round trip for $668 with some fees. It went up to $718. So you can beat that for a round trip.
Where did you fly from?
I flew from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
No ways.
Yep. Well, round trip.
Yeah, so the pandemic did help with decrease in flight prices. But unfortunately, it wasn't the same for me. I paid $1,400 from Grand Rapids all the way to Durban, which wasn't bad because I usually pay $1,500-$1,600 from Chicago, not Grand Rapids. So that wasn't bad at all.
Oh yes, most definitely. And yeah, go ahead.
So the best part was that because the airlines were not full, there were not a lot of people, so they had space.
Ooh.
Whether you paid for first class, business class, economy, you had the same experience in economy as you would in business class.
Yep. Actually, that's so true.
I had the whole seat myself in economy, and I slept the whole way through. 16 hours I slept, so couldn't beat that.
And don't forget, this is the guy who don't sleep in the airplane. So him telling you that he slept, he was so comfortable.
That was really worth it, yes. So
yeah,
that was great. So let's start with the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Yes.
Tell us how your trip went.
I went to Congo in April. It was supposed to be April to July, but I cut my trip short. You know, life in Africa was so strange. Not in Africa, I mean life in DR.Congo was so not the way I would say the way I planned everything, but it just got at point where I was missing my family, and I thought 3 months was too much, you know. Being away from everybody, I had to cut short, so I ended up spending only two months instead of 3.
Well, that's enough time, I would say, for you to have an experience or exposure to how life is in Congo.
Yes.
So what would you say, how are the people in Congo? How would you say they are?
Okay, basically, I wouldn't generalize Congo because I was specifically in Kinshasa. What I would say about Kinshasa is every day is a party day. Basically, it's like Las Vegas, out of Las Vegas, not with all the fancy Las Vegas life. But overall, people are very nice. People are very nice. There is a lot of improvement that needs to be done countrywide, but specifically in Kinshasa, there are things they're working on, and hopefully very soon they will get everything situated and especially in peace. You know, other than that, yeah, life is very comfortable if you have money.
And what would you say is the security level, or how would you say it's safe to live or just visit the Congo?
Visiting Congo, it depends on where you're going. Visiting Kinshasa, it's safe. Just you end up paying a lot because even though they use Congolese franc, but somehow they adopted dollars in so many level in which people sees you, people watch you spending that much cash. So that can easily affect your safety. And knowing Africa I don't know if I should say Africa in general, but knowing Congo, that's a country of over 80 million inhabitants, and Kinshasa alone, people suggest to be anywhere between 15 to 20 million people.
Wow.
And a lot of them are broke. So you flashing money around can really impact your safety. And
So you would say the only safety risk is caused or is posed when you try to show off, or when you, of course, when you expose money to someone needy, that's going to put
Yeah.
you in threat. But I mean, just in general, besides putting the money factor away, just in general, just walking around, just living.
Yeah.
How would you say that people can be comfortable walking around any time of the day or night?
During the day, yes. During the night, I wouldn't really advise anybody, even though myself, I had a chance to go around, hang out a little bit at night alone. But that's something I won't really advise, especially females or anyone who's unable to fight for themselves. So that's something really to avoid. Otherwise, during the day, really, you just have to pick what type of neighborhood you're getting into, because there are neighborhoods and neighborhoods where you can actually go and not coming out with everything you went with during the day. And otherwise, overall, I would say it's safe, but it all depends on where and what you're putting yourself into. Just stay away from trouble, and see what you're talking, because over there we don't have as much freedom of say whatever you want like here in the USA. Even though you might have some freedom, you might say whatever you want, but those type of stuff will haunt you.
All right. So that, I like what you said, that it depends on the neighborhood you visit or where you go. That technically applies to everywhere you go in the world, because
Yeah.
even here, you cannot just go to any neighborhood that you're not from or you're not familiar with.
Right,
So
right.
I would say it's the same. So tell us about what would you say the living standards is in the Democratic Republic of Congo, particularly in Kinshasa, where you visited, in terms of, let's say, housing, food, prices, fuel, and all those things. How would you classify them?
Okay, I wouldn't really say much about fuel because I wasn't driving, and never really put myself in a position in which to know what was the price of a fuel. That part, absolutely, I don't know much. But when it comes to food, compared to USA, that's the only comparison that I can do right now. But compared to here, food is relatively cheaper over there. You can easily get a complete meal. Let's say at the place where I was staying, buying food from the restaurant and to bring it to all the way to my room was costing me somewhere around $3. $3, and the $3, I mean, rice, fish, sometimes including chicken, and whatever veggies you want, and sometimes including drink. If I've ever spent much for food in one day, that would be maybe $7.
Wow, that's relatively cheap compared
Yeah.
to other countries, I would say. So that means the food is generally cheap in Congo.
Yes.
How about, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
How about renting? Let's say you were living in a hotel. Or,
Yes.
okay, how would you classify the lodging over there compared to, I don't know if you know this, but compared to like renting a home?
Okay, let me add one more subject to that one, transportation. Transportation, how I deal with transportation, I used a lot of motorcycle. I don't know, somehow that thing is just fun. I know it's risky because especially in Congo where people don't respect traffic signals or there is no rules on the road. But just being behind a motorcycle as they're taking you, it feels heavenly to me. So jumping from that one in housing, I was living in a hotel, but they gave me a hell of a deal. For 2 months, I paid $600
Whoa.
to stay in that hotel. So $600, I can compare that with any house because I had people cleaning for me. I had most of service really wasn't given over there due to the fact that the hotel wasn't really a hotel. Is one guy who built this type of building, and they rented all other rooms for offices, whatever they wanted to do with. But he kept 2 rooms for his kids who lives abroad, and whenever they go back home, so they don't have to deal with looking for things around. So yeah, for accommodation. Therefore, when the guy who owns the restaurant, we have some relation, we know each other, and he went and asked the guy to to give me an accommodation, and he was like, yo, since it's your people, it's okay. I won't make him pay $900 a month. He can get a room for $300. So it wasn't bad. And then the good thing about it was in Gombe. And if you know Gombe, that is the main city, basically the city center in in Kinshasa. So that's where is all those big buildings, tall buildings located in Kinshasa.
So it was mainly a family discount, not.
Yeah, family discount. Yeah. I like that. Family discount.
So, okay, besides the living standards, how would you say doing business in Congo would be?
Okay, that's a big challenge. Let me tell you this. Congo is a very good country when it comes to business because there is always money. There is always people willing to spend money to do business. But the only biggest issue is finding someone you trust. That's where the business really gets a little bit, weird because in a wrong hand, you will lose your money in a blink of an eye. Otherwise, in general, if you're willing to be there yourself and watch your business, do everything yourself, yeah, it's very easy. Just know how to talk to people, and you need some relationship with people in a higher level. That's very important because there will be guys coming on the side. Hey, you need to pay this taxes. One will come and charge you for taxes right now. 2 hours later, another one comes, and all of them. If you don't, let's say you miss paying one of them, they will give you a ticket, and that ticket will actually affect you. So you need to make sure you have some type of relationship with higher level people. It can be in the military or in the government who can back you up. So that's always important.
So with you saying that, I would assume it's really not easy or safe to do business in the Democratic Republic of Congo, particularly in Kinshasa, where you at because of that situation. Why would it take you knowing people in high places for you to carry out your business? I don't know about that.
One of the things, as I said earlier, with the number of people living in Kinshasa, and the Congo came from a lot of regime government what never really was stable, and that alone have affected the country a lot. At point where it's hard to be just a regular Joe and go do stuff like this. There will always be obstacles. Therefore, if you got you people, I don't know how to put it, but if you get yourself people that can actually help you enough to get you something going, it won't be easy by yourself. That's something I have learned. I tried it by myself. Yes, it's very challenging. And getting people, you need to know exactly what type of people you're including too, because they can easily play you and get your money and find out before you know it, you already lost everything.
So I would just say, guys, if you're thinking of doing business in the Congo, be careful, do your research, make sure you connect with the right people.
Exactly.
Now moving on to healthcare. How would you say the healthcare system is in Kinshasa?
To be honest, it isn't the very best, but they're trying. Isn't the very best. They don't have the best of the best as far as what I saw, but from what I saw, at least you can see a lot of citizens are trying to take matter in their own hands and trying to improve the health care and the whole system. I had a cousin who was sick and he went to a local hospital. I came across, no, I actually went to visit her. Just the way they kept them in the room, with this coronavirus going around, and in one room there was about 5 different patients sharing one room, and I'm talking about not even 6 feet apart. That was kind of scary, especially you don't know what is the next person, what the next person's problem. So that was a little bit scary, but otherwise, I think they have another hospital. I think it belongs to Indians or Chinese. I'm not quite sure. I can't really say much about it, but that one I had few comments from people around that is one of the best and that they be treating people very well, but you have to have money.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I think that's all we're going to talk about the Congo. Now we're moving on to
South Africa.
South Africa.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. South Africa was, let me just start by saying it was phenomenal. There was nothing that I came across in South Africa that wasn't here. The only thing I enjoyed most about South Africa is, of course, the food is mostly organic.
Yep.
And just the environment there's just fresh air for some reason. The minute I landed in South Africa, I just felt free. I don't know how, but I just felt free. So being there was a great experience.
If there was something that caught you the most beside food and fresh air, what would you say?
I would say everything, but for me, I love swimming. Of course, I grew up there, and I love swimming. I grew up by the ocean, and the ocean always takes my breath away. Every time I come, I'm originally I lived in Durban. I visited Durban too during my last trip, which was actually last month. I visited Durban, and I always love the ocean. And the other thing that was fun was the beachfront. They always have activities by the beach where by the restaurants, their performers. There's this guy who came, he was dancing, playing Michael Jackson music, and just dancing like Michael Jackson. He was dressed like Michael Jackson. I'm like, oh, a concert right in front of us, out of nowhere.
Oh, damn.
But of course, you have to give that person, the performer,
some tips.
To appreciate his performance, which was nice. I enjoyed that. They also have very nice restaurants on the beachfront or on the coast, which were very nice. Some of them I didn't like because they had like mostly American food, like burgers and fries. But I like the cappuccino. Oh my god, the coffee was amazing because it was from. I think the guy told me the coffee that they were brewing there was from Kenya, and another one was from Ethiopia, and that was the best coffee I ever had.
Funny thing, there's a guy that I watched not too long ago who was speaking about that same coffee. He came from, I don't know, Pretoria, whatever it was in South Africa. But he mentioned about that cappuccino. So, okay.
I had a cappuccino. Like I used to go there every day just for the same cappuccino.
Dang.
So it was amazing. And then the funny thing is, I came back to here to the U.S. and I went to Big B to buy a cappuccino. Just didn't taste the same. It was not the same. There was no taste. I mean, I couldn't. It wasn't. You know the feeling. It didn't give me that whole feeling compared to the cappuccino I had in Durban. And then another thing about the city of Durban, of course, the nightlife is amazing. There are restaurants open until late. You can go anywhere you want to go visit. There are amusement parks just along the beach side. You know, they have, I don't know what you call these rides, whereby you sit back and then someone is pulling you like a king. I forgot what those rides are called, but those rides, you usually pay them like, there was 20 rands. 20 rands.
How much dollars?
Like $12.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Not even 12. No, that's like $2, less than $2. Because $20 that would be close to $220 would be close to 215 rands. So 20 rands would be close to $1 and something. Yes, and that ride it was fun. You just sit there, the guy is pulling you and you're swinging back and forth. It's nice. It was nice.
And
another thing that maybe, sorry to cut you.
Oh, no, you're good.
But yeah, Durban, I mean, Durban is a place to be. You gotta visit Durban and check it out for yourself.
Okay, speaking of visiting there, security-wise, because I'm always scared of going to South Africa, and that's something I always wanted to know. How's the security over there?
Security
and living standard?
Security is pretty decent or pretty good. Since 2010, when the World Cup was held in South Africa,
Yeah.
security improved significantly because they didn't want tourists to be attacked when they visited South Africa, particularly in Durban. So security is good because before the World Cup 2010, you wouldn't just be walking around with your phone on your hand, just talking on your phone. They will snatch it. Now it's not the case. Like you mentioned before, it's not every neighborhood that you go to, but Durban in general, like the beachfront, the coast, South Beach, North Beach, those places are safe. They're safe. There's just some communities that you cannot go to, of course, if you're not from there. Like a good example is Umlazi. If anybody knows Umlazi, if you're not, doesn't matter the color of your skin. If you're not from there, you cannot just go to Umlazi. That's the location that's known that you cannot go there. But yeah, security-wise, I would say it's safe because I never felt in harm. People just spoke about things that, oh, you might get attacked, but I never felt that during my stay there. So I would say overall it's pretty safe, and anybody that wants to visit, don't listen to what other videos might be saying or what, just go and experience it yourself. Trust me, it's safe. And if anything happens, hold me accountable.
And speaking of living over there, how's the living standard? How's the accommodation, transportation?
Accommodation, well, let me start with transportation. If you do not have transportation, or if you're visiting South Africa, please make sure you arrange for your transportation before you get there. As in, arrange for a car rental, or have a friend arrange for your transportation, or make sure your friend is going to be transporting you from one place to the other. Because if you don't have transportation, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck inside the house, you're going to be stuck inside the hotel. That's one thing you need to make sure you arrange before you go there. Another thing, living standard is I wouldn't say I wouldn't mention much about a hotel because I was living in my father's house. But last time I visited, before because I went there to surprise my father. I didn't want him to know I was coming, so I booked the Airbnb for 3 nights. For 3 nights, and the Airbnb was I paid how much? That was $70 for 3 nights.
That's nice.
Yeah, $70 for 3 nights, which wasn't bad at all. And there was a beachfront
Wow.
hotel, beachfront, like yeah, $70. And I would say relatively a good hotel would go for around 300 rand or 600 rand. 600 rand would be like the more luxurious ones. 400 rand average for a good hotel, and 400 I would say like that's $30, $35 for a night. And if you want something good, 600 rand. 600 rand would be like $45, $50 close per night, and that's a good hotel, very good hotel. And of course, if you want to book into an Airbnb, there are beachfront resorts that you can check into. They're relatively cheap as well, especially with the pandemic. Airbnbs were really cheap, so you want to check those out too. But I would suggest you to check an Airbnb before you book a hotel, because Airbnbs give you more option.
Yeah.
Like you can make your food, you can
Right.
bring visitors, not to break Airbnb rules, but yeah, that's more like it. And as for living, of course, apartments. I would say apartments. A two-bedroom apartment is 800 rand, and that's like $600, like a two-bedroom apartment. So
Okay.
that's
Are they furnished or just an empty
no, just
apartment?
empty.
Okay.
$600, 800 rand. But that's a property close to. Mostly I know about the beachfront.
Yeah,
because
yeah. Swimming guy, yeah?
Yeah, so that's a property next to the beach where you are able to actually see the beach. So you're paying around $600, which is actually not bad. Because I remember I paid how much? I paid was it 300 a night, $300 a night when I took my family to Florida.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Florida or no, was it Florida? Miami, not
Miami.
Florida, Miami.
Yeah, Miami, that's in Florida. Yeah.
Miami, yeah. I don't know why I'm confusing you, but yeah, Miami, I paid $300 a night for a beachfront.
Wow, yeah.
So you can't compare
Yeah.
to South Africa. South Africa Durban is relatively cheap.
Okay, now doing business in South Africa. I know South Africa is when it comes to business in Africa, South Africa is one of the top. Everybody talk about it, but you tell me your side.
So doing business in South Africa, of course, there are a lot of opportunities. But during my visit this time, everybody was complaining, oh man, there's no money. Probably could have been due to the pandemic.
Yeah.
But everybody was like, oh man, there's no money nowadays, business is not good. But I could understand that was maybe due to the pandemic. And of course, while I was there, I experienced something. When they mentioned that the Omicron variant is in South Africa,
Yeah.
the rand dropped significantly. It dropped. The exchange rate was just phenomenal, especially when you have dollars. The rand dropped bad, and over the past years, the rand has significantly dropped, and it's not as good as it used to be. So, business-wise in South Africa, I would say it's a little bit saturated compared to other African countries.
Yeah.
Because I like to tell people that there is no, just like in America, there is no business that you can just up and start and be successful within a period of 2 years. Of course, they are there, but I mean like a new business, like a relatively new business for you to be successful. Like other countries, in South Africa, it would take a little bit more time, but I would urge people, of course, to do their research. There are businesses, of course. I would say maybe property, that's where you can never go wrong, but general other businesses, I don't know. The feeling that I got during my last stay, I was so discouraged. Everybody was just demotivated because most people I know are in the transportation industry, and they were just not happy. They were telling me that, oh, there's no money this time around. Not only that, the other one was in property, and the tenants were not paying rent. So I would say maybe it was due to the pandemic,
Yeah.
but it wasn't as good as used to be for during my time there.
Oh wow. Okay. And then knowing how big South Africa is, I will assume their health system might be a lot more developed.
Yes, the healthcare system is actually good. Of course, they have private hospitals and government hospitals. It just depends on what you want, what the individual wants. If you want better care or better health services, it's best you go to private hospitals. They also have uh, government hospitals which provide technically universal health care.
Hmm.
When you go to the government hospitals, you do not have to pay a dime out of pocket. They just treat you. Because I remember I had to get a COVID test every time I traveled, like out of the country. I had to get a COVID test. So I went to the government hospital and asked them if they could test me. And I wasn't even from there. They were willing to test me for free.
Oh wow.
Imagine. But the only thing that discouraged me was that the results took 3 days to come out, and I needed them the same day.
Oh.
Yeah, so they were like, oh yeah, we can test you, but the results will take 3 days. I'm like, 3 days? No, I need them today. I'm traveling today. So I ended up going to a private hospital to go get tested, which was hefty. Those people are making money with COVID testing.
Yeah.
It was big business.
Wow.
I paid 850 rand for a single COVID test. And that's like, I would say 850, $50 for a test. And you have to get tested each time you cross the border. Like I was going to Botswana, I had to get tested. Every time I come back to South Africa, I have to get tested. That's $800, 850 rand each time. So there was, and then I traveled with 3 of my friends, so we all had to pay that.
Oh wow.
So yeah, healthcare. Otherwise, healthcare is good because I know my father visits the hospital frequently. He goes to private hospitals. He doesn't go to government hospitals because he has diabetes. So he prefers to go to private hospital where they can give him the right medication,
Right.
instead of going to a government hospital. So he's been good. They give him the right medication. So the healthcare is alright because even if you need an ambulance, it'll get to you right away.
Oh wow. That's nice.
They don't delay. So healthcare wise is phenomenal.
Man, now let's jump to Botswana.
Botswana. Wow.
What would you say about Botswana?
Botswana is, I would say, I'm from South Africa and Botswana. Botswana is the most peaceful country. It's actually known to be the most peaceful country in Southern Africa. I don't know about comparing it to Namibia,
Yeah.
but I just know that Botswana is peaceful.
Yeah, I heard Namibia is very peaceful too.
I wouldn't say because I haven't been there, but I haven't heard any stories about Namibia.
I met with a guy from Namibia before, so he's the guy. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So-
Botswana is a great country. It felt good going back there after how many? Actually, it had been 5 years before I went back, so
Okay.
it felt really good to visit.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
How would you say life over there? Life in general.
life is good. Life in Botswana is good. Botswana are happy people. Botswana are people who don't want trouble. Botswana just want to have fun and live their life. That's how they are. They don't want you to bother them or them bothering you. No, they just want to live their life. There's a saying that says, what do they say? There's no hurry. Hey, there's no hurry in Botswana.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is slow, and that's the only thing I hated when I visit the country. Everything is slow. They tell you there's no hurry in Botswana. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Life is too short. So that's the fun part of Botswana, but that's the only thing I didn't like. I don't like the pace. Okay.
Yeah.
The customer service, everywhere you go, it's just slow.
They
So,
take their time on everything.
yeah, but otherwise, living in Botswana is safe. You don't have to worry about your security. You don't have to worry about anybody attacking you, or people stealing your car, people stealing your phone, people taking anything from you. No, you don't have to worry about that.
Actually, that was my next question, but glad you said it. So tell us a little bit more. Would you hang out at night and?
Oh yeah, I did.
I like that confidence. Oh yeah.
Like I said, there's nobody out
Yeah.
to harm you. So we went to concerts when I was there. What time did we get back? We got back around 2 a.m. and we were just safe. Everybody was. That's what I said. Everybody's just out there to have fun. They don't
Just living their
They don't want
life.
to be bothered. Yeah, just living their life. We went out to a concert and wow, that concert actually like exposed me to real happiness. It was just phenomenal to see everybody enjoying at the same time.
Hey guys, let me ask you a question. Does anyone have a best word to describe this than phenomenal? Especially the way this guy says it.
I'm telling you, like I was just sitting there, the music was playing, and I'm watching the guys just dancing together, enjoying the same song.
Dang.
I was like, I have not been for the past 8 years I've lived in America. I've not been to a place where I've seen people enjoying the same thing at the same time, or people just having fun in general together. You know, so I'm like, wow, this is amazing. You know, instead of me joining them to have fun, I was just amused,
Just appreciating.
appreciative of how everybody just came together to have fun. They all dancing to the same song, jumping together. You know, it's like cousins at
Yeah.
the party. You know, it's like everybody knew one another. So I was just enjoying the moment. I was just there observing, and I felt like this is a place to be.
If I may ask, whose concert was it?
So they had different artists. They have the artists called Amapiano. Those are the popular artists right now in
Okay.
South Africa and Botswana. They also had, they call him KRM. He's a local artist from
Okay.
Botswana. That guy is actually funny. I watch his videos on Facebook. He's funny. He's a local Botswana artist. And then there were all other artists, local artists that were there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so, living over there, you already said it. How about doing business in Botswana?
Doing business is also great because there are a lot of businesses or opportunities that are not tapped into in Botswana.
Yeah.
There's still so much that can be done in Botswana, and not only that, the currency in Botswana is really good. Like compared to the rand in South Africa, the currency in Botswana is good. Like I would compare it to the dollar, like 1:10. Like $100 is 1,000 pula. So that's
Oh,
really good.
Pula.
Yeah.
Okay.
$100 is 1,000 pula. $10 is 100 pula. So the currency is really good. The only thing I was comparing it to, like, it's the same as like living standard wise. It would be the same as, weirdly enough, it would be the same as the US.
Okay.
Because you know, when you go out, let's say you go out for lunch with your buddy here, you would spend probably how much?
100 easy.
There'll be too much. Let's say me and you, we went out for lunch.
Ah, man, $20.
20, 30 bucks.
Yeah, 20,
$40,
20, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's the same over there.
Okay.
I was spending like 400, 450, 500 just for lunch with a buddy of mine, just the two of us.
Okay.
It's relatively $40, $45.
Okay.
So I would say it's the same. Food-wise, like if you want to go out to eat, it's the same. Or if you want to go out to concert, the concert we paid $300 per ticket, so that was like $30.
Okay.
That's average for a concert ticket here.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of the same. which I would say is it's expensive for no, I don't want to say for Africa, but like, yeah, it's kind of expensive if you bring it to the same rate, like if
Yes.
the exchange rate.
Yes.
Because this one thing I like to do, I like to compare the exchange rates. So Botswana, I like South Africa because the exchange rate was better. I was spending less. But once I jumped over to Botswana, I was spending a little bit more exchange rate wise, but I didn't care because I was there to have
Yeah.
fun, to have a good time.
And then if I make one jump back on living standard over there, housing and transportation like.
So transportation is another big thing as well. You need to have transportation. Of course, they have taxis, they have Ubers. That's the same thing in South Africa. They have
Yeah.
Ubers, they have taxis, public transport. But it's always best if you're visiting to have your own mode of transportation. But they have car rentals that you can rent. It was it was the same, because for the first 2 weeks I was there, I was renting a car, and I was paying 300 per day. There was $30 a day.
Okay.
That's a standard,
Exactly here.
standard rental vehicle here. So it's pretty much the same. You can rent a vehicle, or you can arrange for a friend to take you around. Otherwise, if you don't have transportation, you also be stuck in the same place.
Okay.
Public transport, I wouldn't say is reliable in Botswana compared to South Africa. It's there, but it wouldn't be as reliable as having your own mode of transportation. And then living standards is with rental. So I was staying with a buddy of mine, which it was a great house, great accommodation. I mean, but if you compare it to a hotel, I would say 300, or let's say $400. No, 400 pura would get you a great place to stay. 400 pula or 500 pula. But you want a budget for, if you are looking for something fancier, you want a budget for 500 to 600 pula. That's something nice, like a nice luxurious hotel.
Yeah.
For 600 pula, that brings it to $60 or $50 for 500. So yeah, 50, 40. And then for rental property, you're looking at, you can get a 2-bedroom for, depends on the location as well. You can get a 2-bedroom for 3,500 to 4,000, and then a better place will be 6,000. Nice, that's 5,000 to 6,000. You are looking for, you are getting something much more nicer, much more comfortable.
Furnished or not furnished?
No, all of them come unfurnished. You
Oh,
have
okay.
to bring your own furniture. So yeah, I would say 5,000 to 6,000. You get great accommodation.
That's
for
nice.
a bachelor. But for a family, you are looking for 3 bedrooms. You are spending around the same 5,000, 6,000, something better, 7,000, 8,000.
That's nice. That's nice. So, and then healthcare in Botswana.
So I never had the opportunity to visit any healthcare facilities over there. But
Okay.
I have friends of mine that work in healthcare. The one lady that I knew, she worked in a private hospital, so I couldn't compare that. But I would say it's pretty much the same as in South Africa,
Okay.
healthcare wise. But of course, you want the better healthcare, you go to private hospitals, and private hospitals cost a little bit more. They also have a universal healthcare system whereby if you go to government hospitals, they treat you with no out of pocket cost, so it will be free to you. Also, there I paid 750 pula for a COVID test.
Oh, okay.
That was like $75. That was expensive.
Yeah.
That COVID test was expensive.
Did you get it? Did you get your result the same day or?
Yes, like 3 hours. I had to wait for
Oh,
3
okay.
hours. So, but still, it's expensive. There was, like I said, they were making a lot of money through this COVID
Yeah.
testing sites. I mean, testing events or clinics. Yeah, they were making a lot of money. But in overall, yeah, Botswana, South Africa, those are places to visit. I never had the opportunity to. I was stuck in the capital, which is
Yeah.
called Gaborone. I never had a chance to visit Kasane. I wanted to go to Kasane. Kasane, that's where you get the safari experience.
Oh,
You
okay.
go on a safari, you
Yeah.
sleep at the lodges. I never got to experience that before I came back. But yeah, Botswana, South Africa, those are places to visit.
You know, if I would jump back a little bit in DR.Congo, DRC, there is something that I wanted to add, and I would like to ask you the same question about Botswana and South Africa. Upon arrival, the visa I did my visa online and everything. It was $45, whatever fees they asked me. But when I got there again, I had to pay $90, and so that same night, coming from landing at the airport to exiting the airport, I spent near $400.
For what?
That's exactly my question too. For what? Because the crazy part is this guy from Ghana, Wodemaya, he's a YouTuber as well. He actually shot a video, I believe, a week or two ago in Congo. He was in Congo, in Kinshasa and Goma. He said the same thing. They end up spending over $2,500, him and his crews, just in this visa and passport things in Congo. So I don't really know, because when I visited Rwanda, I only spent $30 for a visa, and that was it. Nobody gave me a hard time. Nobody asked me a question except what you're here for, which is important for every country to know your objective to the country. So otherwise, I really had to pay money, crazy money. And so how is it going to South Africa and Botswana?
That's insane. I mean, of course, a little bit of research would have helped to understand the visa process application for travel. But for me in South Africa, I didn't pay for anything. I didn't pay for visa. It's visa free. I just got into the country. They asked me something. Why are you here? I'm like, here to visit family. But I didn't pay for visa. Same with Botswana. They just asked me, how many days do you want? I said, give me 32 days.
Wow.
Because in South Africa, I believe you get 90 days free visa, and Botswana you get 60 days free visa.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't pay nothing.
Yeah. So that was like my biggest thing about going to visit. I don't know if that situation go throughout the whole Congo, but at least to Kinshasa, that was my experience, which was very tricky. I did not appreciate it, especially coming from here. You go with plans,
Right.
like, hey, I will spend my money like this, and start spending already right there at the airport. And the crazy thing is, they don't even give you receipt for things that you're spending money on. They'll be like, pay here, pay this. You're paying for these applications. You're paying for filling up these ones. You're paying for. You're just like, okay, what's going on? I think that's really the biggest issue that I had with visiting Congo. Other than that,
Next time you need to include them in your budget when you visit.
oh yes, that's actually true. That's so true. It's something you really have to make sure you include it in your budget, just in case if you have a limited budget and visiting Congo for a long period of a time. I don't know, your experience might be different than mine, but for sure, you don't want to get there and find yourself spending money that you did not plan to spend. And
But I feel like with visa it should be standard for fees. Like if you visit a country, like I know for sure Kenya is $50.
Yeah.
Visa is $50. Every time I go there, I now have to pay $50. So I feel like it might be different, of course, but I feel like for every country, it should be standardized as to how much visa fees are.
Yeah.
I just feel maybe they took a little advantage of you. I don't know, but
I felt it. I felt like they took advantage of me. Because this is the thing. We take this thing for granted, but people can tell where you came from. Apparently,
Exactly.
people can tell where you came from and how they should charge you.
when you when you said that, let me give a tip to everybody who's traveling. So when I visited South Africa, of course I speak Zulu. When I visited Botswana, I speak Setswana. But speaking English
Yeah.
made me so much trouble and it costed me more money than I would have paid if I spoke those languages. You know? So I would advise, if you speak local languages, use those local languages. Don't try to speak English, try to sound smart, or try to sound like you're out of here. Because I don't know what this was. I think it was in when I was coming from Botswana, going to South Africa. Yeah, I was coming from Botswana, going to South Africa for a week. At the border, I did what you call this, a COVID test, but it was what you call this PCR and there's rapid.
Rapid test, yeah.
So in South Africa, they don't accept the rapid test. I did the rapid test. So myself, I thought because if I speak English, they'll let me through, you know. So I went there, I was talking English with her, so because I have an American passport, you know, she's going to take it easy on me like I didn't know, you know. But which was a big mistake. Had I spoken, you know, like South Africa, Zulu with her, she would have been more lenient with me, you know. But because I spoke English, she said, no, you got to do the right thing.
Ooh.
You don't want to put us in trouble just because we let you go through. You know, that's a mistake I realized. Not only that, I got pulled over in South Africa again when I was driving, going to Durban. I got pulled over for speeding. Another mistake I did was I spoke English. You know, had I spoken Zulu, they would have been more lenient on me. You know, but
Yeah.
because this guy speaking English, he's gonna get us in trouble. Let us give him a ticket. By the that guy gave me a ticket by the book. You know, when a police officer does his job by the book, you know it's serious. So that guy, he was actually searching for, you know, how much it costs. My offense, what I did. Then he said, oh, okay, speedy, this limit, okay. Then he put a ticket there. But yeah, if you speak local languages, use them. Don't think you are anything by speaking English or anything.
Oh, yes.
This English costed me a lot of money.
And that one applies for Congo as well. Going places, there's nothing to show off with your language. Act like locals.
Yeah.
Act like locals. If you speak Lingala, that will be a must. That will be a plus. Speaking Swahili nearly got me in trouble. But yeah, as far as conclusion goes, the conclusion is if you have money, you have time, you want to take a vacation, go and experience Africa. It might get expensive. That's why you don't go, you don't take a trip with empty pockets. Be ready. My best advice is if you can afford 5K, have 5K in the pocket. Not necessarily because it's gonna cost you 5K to spend your vacation, but remember, you're going to buy presents, you're going to buy souvenirs, you know, everything in general. You wanna live your life taking a vacation, so 5K should be really a good number. Of course, you're coming back with some of the money too. What would you say?
And then I want to tell people that, especially if you are from an African descent, I would say, you know how people go to therapy because they're having trouble wherever? I would say visiting the motherland for me is therapeutic. Like, I felt I felt back to normal just for me visiting or being in the motherland.
Yeah.
Because I was connected again to my people, the freedom I had, the fun I had. You know, it was just therapeutic. That's exactly what I needed to get my balance back.
Right.
You know, and now I came back as a full
Refreshed.
person, now refreshed, and now I'm ready to jump into 22 full energized. And I'm going to try and make it a point that each and every year I visit, because I realized I was under so much pressure, so much tension while I was here, because of course the work and everything,
Right.
family, everything, just everything. There was just so much pressure, and then once I went over there, all the pressure was released, because I didn't think about my worries, my troubles, work, all that was behind me. I was just about me, having fun, connecting with nature, connecting with people, you know, just having a great experience.
Right, right.
That's what we need in life. So if you have the opportunity to, please do travels. Otherwise, here at AFRO-NEST, we wish you a happy new year.
Happy New Year.
Stay blessed, stay safe, and once again, happy travels if you can. Don't forget to follow us on our YouTube channel and our Facebook, as well as our Instagram.
And AFRO-NEST, remember to like, subscribe, and you know, a little bit of thumbs up will be appreciated. Thank you so much again. This is your man Salim Fabrice Wise. You all have a blessed day, evening, night, wherever you are. Peace.